And just
who
say
we are and how
we've got some distance here, so we can
and
go
how
ahead.
we roll. I
Okay.
think that's a good thing, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
this is looking good. Are you ready, Chuck?
Great
Anytime,
choice of
Nancy.
that bright blue.
Thank you, Nancy.
Gretchen Piper is running for Senate in SD 33, and it is so nice to meet you. When I said hello, Gretchen, I said I have been writing postcards on your behalf for weeks now, and you know what? Why don't we, since we are far enough apart, we can take this off. But it's a good thing to always do.
You have the best mask, though.
Thanks to little cousin Cheryl.
Oh, it's beautiful.
The first thing I want to do as we get to know you is tell you thank you. I am in awe of you. I do not understand how someone has the tenacity, the courage, and the determination to step up and run for office. Why did you decide you were going to?
It's an absolute honor to run for office, to represent my neighbors and my friends. It is an unbelievable honor. And people like you, who now are spending hours of your time writing postcards, phone banking, calling your friends and neighbors, texting, it really makes it worth it. I've got a whole team of Piper people behind me.
I love that. I see that on your website, Piper people. I appreciate your saying it's an honor. Thank you, but really, you're out there. Is there anything in particular as you watch things unfold, because you're new to this, you've not run before?
I have not.
Was there anything that tipped it, or it was just I woke up one morning and said, I think I'll run for Senate in Minnesota?
It is our need for good government, for representative government, for people who listen and then bring those conversations into the legislature and have that influence what happens in policy.
And of course, you're running for Senate. It'd be nice if we could flip it, but right now, Democrats are the minority in the Senate, and that has caused some clogs, probably not from their side, but certainly from ours. If people go to your website, and I encourage them to do so, it's so well prepared and written, and we can see very clearly where you stand on so many things. But allow me to just read this statement. There's a couple of very powerful ones on your website. I'm committed to putting our values into action. It's time we come together to work for high-quality education, accessible health care, preservation of the environment, infrastructure investments, and broadband that drives our economy. On the personal side, you are married, you have 2 children, one is off to college, and before we started sharing this, we were talking about health issues, and that's one of the things you're very concerned about. Like so many, there was a personal moment for you where health came into focus in a manner that you go, really, that's happening to me?
That's right. Just like every family, you know, we've all gone through crises, and in the moment that we went through ours, a couple years and some serious treatments and needing to advocate to get the care that a child needed. Thankfully, that care was received and hugely successful, and we were galvanized, our entire family, to help others. And I changed my whole business, my outlook. I was working in the medical device industry, and I started my own business and started working in mission advancement for different organizations to raise funds to make sure that the things that I believe in, my values, putting them into action and putting my MBA to work and putting my work experience toward the causes that I truly believe will advance our communities.
I want to hear more about that. Mission advancement.
Yeah.
Okay.
My business is in supporting organizations in getting their mission accomplished. And that is fundraising, it's helping develop boards, and it is developing a plan and then executing on that to get them the funds they need. Nonprofits are always under-resourced and need to be extremely efficient to get done their mission. Really representing everybody in our community and those that don't necessarily have a voice. That's what I've worked on just about my entire career, and that's what my business is focused on. So running for office for me is a natural continuation of that work that I love and I really put my shoulder into every day.
One of the things that you mentioned in that brief quote that I read is the concern about broadband access. We certainly have seen, with all the need to have children homeschool at this point, the failure of broadband in so many areas, and it's jeopardized literally the education of our children.
That's right. When I'm driving down the road and I see cars parked out in front of McDonald's to pick up Wi-Fi at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's these kids madly trying to turn in their papers before the end of the day. We just don't need to be in that place. Many of the schools have used a leapfrog technology, right? So they might have hotspots that they're able to give to their students. But everyone, whether you're running a business from home, you're schooling from home, this is something that we can solve, and we should have. And it's unfortunate that we've kicked those investments down the road for so long. And it's not just broadband that we've delayed, it's roads and bridges and key infrastructure that we need, and putting thousands of people into good paying jobs. Not passing a bonding bill in 2 years is inexcusable.
So should you win, and I won't say should you, when you win, you will be balancing this important private work that you do along with working as a public servant. And that brings your family back in again. Now, when you had this epiphany that I ought to do this, was there that all-important family meeting and what does everybody think? Or were you just able to say, okay, guys, this is what I'm doing, here we go?
Oh, no. So I have a son and a daughter. My husband was all in. They were behind me, and we took a few days and cast a few different votes. We took some polling.
Did you? Did
You
you?
bet.
Did you?
Yeah, it's a big decision.
Oh,
and
huge.
We decided that this is what I do. It's putting our values into action, and it's the next logical step to support our community. It's the right decision for our community, for our neighbors, and for our family. It has been a wild ride, a huge adventure. Everybody's involved, and it's turning out really amazing to see.
It's been easy.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have interrupted you. It's been easy to rally behind you. I've been happy to be one who has. Uphill battle, yes?
It's considered flippable this year. We have a changing demographic in the 33rd, and I'm part of it. I grew up in a pretty conservative family. I've never been able to check a box politically myself. I've always been very much a values-based decision maker, not leaning for one party or another. And at this moment, the momentum is behind us. It's behind listening and supporting our neighbors. And people are sick of this partisan gridlock and the rhetoric that just is so divisive and caustic. So we're looking for solutions. We're looking for people who are ready to roll up their sleeves, sit down, hash it out, and make decisions based on those shared values, as you mentioned, for great public schools, for supporting our businesses, for healthcare.
And several times on your website, you mention our environment. You obviously have a dedication to, well, your grandchildren being able to breathe the air, I would assume.
I've always been involved in environmental conservation for as long as I can remember. I worked for the Nature Conservancy and helped start an office in North Idaho. That was an amazing experience for me in working in a very bipartisan way, bringing groups with very diverse interests together, often opposing views, but shared values. And basing our decisions and how we went forward on those shared values, having a lake where you could go take your grandson fishing, being able to go hike in a beautiful area. These are things that we share, whether we're loggers, miners, tugboat operators, environmentalists, whatever it happens to be. And we all came together and we're able to craft policy that works.
It's interesting that the phrase you just used is so important, and we often bypass it. With these political differences that we have, we still have many of the same values. We do want our families to be safe. We want them to be able to go to a doctor and breathe the air and use the internet. So your challenge when you become our senator from SD 33 will be to work on the conciliation with some folks who may not want to be compromising or conciliatory at all. It'll be a challenge.
I feel that listening to our neighbors and centering the conversation around those shared values is really the key to representing our district. We have so many special interests at play in our legislature right now. I'm not taking any PAC, lobbyist, or special interest money. I'm supported by individuals, and that really is making a difference in the race.
That's huge. it's everything that is supporting you is individuals.
That's correct.
Wow.
The independent expenditures that are being made in our state right now are huge, and we don't know where they're coming from.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is a huge problem. We all, as voters, need to have our votes count and not be overridden by tremendous money coming in from special interest groups.
Cannot resist asking about the amazing shoes. Where did you find those? What's the origin?
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, an online order that we had to have, and they match your necklace. So yes, everyone needs to get out and vote.
Yes, vote, vote. GretchenPiper.com. Southern, listen to me, I've got New York on the brain and other things. SD 33, it is our senatorial candidate. I wish you the best. I am grateful to you, and I'm so very happy to meet you. When you get to that seat in Minnesota, we'll be in good hands. Thank you for the personal sacrifices to do this for all of us.
I look forward to representing you. Thank you so much.
Wear your mask, everybody. Wear your mask. Thank you, Gretchen.
Thank you.
Democratic Visions is handcrafted by volunteers from Eden Prairie, Hopkins, Minnetonka, Edina, and Bloomington. Watch us on select cable systems and on our YouTube channel. This is Carol Sundstrom.